What do you think about Vince McMahon retiring?
Well, I guess he had to. What else am I gonna?
Well, were you shocked? Because it seemed like he wasn't never going to go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Uh, well, under the circumstances, I guess it didn't shock any of us. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, you thought he'd always be there.
How is your relationship with Vince? Maybe not right now, but like over the years, it's been a lot better.
Well, Vince came to us to buy us out, and he came in the spring of '83, and came to town. We picked him up at the airport. Went up. We had Vern, our lawyer, Vince, and myself. We're the only four that knows what really happened. And Vince said he wanted, to make a proposal and buy us out. And he he gave it. Vern said, first of all, we have partners. I've got partners. I got partners in Winnipeg. I got a partner in Denver, Colorado. Got a partner, Dennis Hilgart, who runs Milwaukee, Chicago, Phoenix, Las Vegas. Him and Leo Nomalini in San Francisco. Um, his partners in Chicago, Wilbur Snyder and Dick the Bruiser. So he said, I have to present it to them and see how we could make this work. He says, okay, give us a couple months. So he came back in August. We met. We gave him the number, and he said, okay. Um, Drove back to the airport. He said, I'll get back to you. As he got out of the car and he walked up to the front door of the airport, he turned around and he said, I don't negotiate. And Vern looked at me. So what did he say? He said, I don't negotiate. What does he mean by that? And I said, I don't know what he means by it. That's what he said. So we didn't. That was in the fall of '83, early September, late August, and so then we didn't hear anything back from him. And then we do our battle royal. So we had Andre the Giant through October, and then the winner of the battle royals would beat the world champion. And Hogan had a match. He'd won the battle royal. Had a match with Bockwinkel. Didn't win it. And then we had him booked in Christmas week was a big week for us. All our major cities were sold out, and they had 6-man tag team matches with Bockwinkel, Stevens, and Jerry Blackwell and Bobby Heenan in their corner against Brunzell, myself, and Hulk Hogan. And at that time, and we had to sign a non-disclosure with CBS. They wanted to do a Saturday night 2-hour special in April, and they wanted Bockwinkel and Hogan for a championship match. So Hogan, we had that whole week of Christmas. Hogan had gone to Japan right after our last battle royal in Phoenix, and he didn't show up in St. Paul that night. And my dad had got a letter 2 days before from Tampa, Florida. It said, I'm not coming back. Signed Hulk Hogan. And Vern looked at the letter and he said, oh, Tampa, Florida. I mean, he knew Hogan was living in Minneapolis at the time. He said, it's Eddie Graham. They were always pulling jokes on each other. So he just threw it away. And then Hogan didn't show up. So I called him after the St. Paul. I said, hey, man, what are you doing? Why didn't you show up? Well, I'm going to go work for the WWE starting in January. I said, well, business isn't done that way. There was, in wrestling, it was always your handshake was your contract. Nobody ever broke that till Hulk Hogan broke that. He didn't show up for those. And then what McMahon did, he started picking off our talent in the AWA. Nobody was under contract. And he got Gene Okerlund, our announcer. He got some more of our talent. Every time we got somebody really established, he'd grab them. And we battled him for a while, but pretty soon he went in and started buying TV time slots that we had in San Francisco and tried to get it in Denver, tried to get it in Minneapolis, couldn't. He got Winnipeg. He started buying the time, buying the show that we had a rating, a 24 rating with a 64 share of the audience on our syndicated program.
Wow.
And plus we were across Canada on TSN. So by getting Winnipeg, he got all of Canada from us. And it just he kept hitting us because he needed those big markets to make what he was trying to do work. And, the rest was history.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.